Alright, welcome back to part 2 of chapter 14. Here's what's going to happen if you're not familiar. Marth has to go to the glowing tile up the middle, we lose all our star shards, new rooms open on the far left and right, and all the enemies on the map will run at you, in addition to a wave of reinforcements back where we started. Then Marth has to run to the room on the far right to recruit Tiki, then all the way to the room on the left to seize. What the fuck? Why did they make this? My only option is to split up my army and play slowly. But not slow enough for Fina to leave the middle and help out, she just has to sit here waiting for everyone else to be ready. These enemies on the left and right won't pull unless a single unit is in range of 2 of them, so you can position pretty closely. But if 2 units are in range of 2 different dragons, they won't pull, and so I take advantage of that on the right here. The slowdown does finally give Yumina a break from spamming Fortify, though. Alright, so last turn setup allows us to move in on all of these dragons, and one thing I haven't talked about yet is how every ice dragon here has 16 base crit, and I can tell you for certain that low percent crits from these dragons slowed down making this video more than anything else by a mile. I honestly feel like there's a hidden multiplier on it. I was losing my mind over these dragon crits. So many level ups, it wastes so much time! Wendell here just needs to physic whichever Swordmaster didn't get the barrier from Etzel, and then they'll be fine. So even with the dragons dead, I can't open the rooms this turn because the dragons will rush out and kill everyone, and there's still a Dark Mage on each side. Even if I luck sack the Killer Bow crit on the right side, there's just no one available for the Dark Mage on the left. I can't stress enough that these 2 Dark Mages really ruin the whole thing. What could I have possibly done to get rid of these guys last turn or on enemy phase? There's just no way. Beck dodging here does save me 1 physic, which is nice, but it doesn't really make me feel better. Now, the real problem is that I need literally every unit available when I open up the rooms, so I still can't progress this turn because I have to kill the Dark Mages. It's just another boring turn of setup because the enemy placement is so stupid. Zane is guaranteed to get this kill against stat variation. He just might have to grab the Leo shard off of Pala real quick in some cases, but whatever. Etzel, Wendell, and Yumina get everybody back up. And now we're finally ready to pull the trigger. Marth forks over all of our star shards to get the Star Sphere, which only gives +2 to every stat, and only 1 person can have it. So that's a huge downgrade, but it'll be nice not to have to manage all the shards anymore. We also get the Light Sphere, which removes terrain bonuses from enemies, so that'll be nice to have, especially against bosses. Julian grabs the Sword Slayer Force, which is pretty underwhelming in this game with only 12 uses and pretty limited usefulness, but fine. Now, Belf in particular suffers without his Scorpio Shard. Everything on the map doubles him now, so I needed this trade chain after Dancing Marth to get the Star Sphere over there. But of course, Yumina needs to wait until she's ready to use Fortify to move. The only merciful thing about this chapter is that Tiki won't move to attack you, so you don't have to worry about that here. Unlike enemy dragons, friendly dragons were not buffed to have 2 range because Intelligent hates you. On the left, just make sure Zane kills the closer dragon. He's going to lose his transformation this turn, which is why I had to delay his transformation by a turn earlier on when I talked about that. And that means he's going to go back down to 6 movement, so you want him closer to the way back out. Yumina hands off the Star Sphere and drops our 8th and final Fortify of this chapter. So I take back what I said. Giving us the Fortify staff was another merciful thing they did. Unlike the Vulnerary we got instead of the silver card. An evil thing they did, though, was giving us only 1 save tile! Chapter 12 and even Chapter 13 both had 2 save tiles, and they were casual afternoon walks in the park compared to this bullshit. I can't believe you only get 1 save tile here. But fine, it's time for my free crits, I'm taking them. And this is another reason I wanted Beck. Something like, say, Daros reclassed to Horseman wouldn't have the necessary C rank in bows for the killer bow here. So like I was saying, I needed every unit for this, and I didn't even kill all the enemies. I spent my whole Saturday trying to shave even one turn off of the last 4, and just I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. And Leiden used a Pure Water a minute ago, he would die to the Dark Mage here without that. Now the reinforcements arrive because Marth stepped on the tile, so everyone needs to run back to the center again. Julian gets a little boost here to continue his looting, and we're going to trade chain a heal staff over to Yumina. We don't have time to stick around killing this Dark Mage in this room, so I'm just going to leave Beck on the edge of his range and counter on enemy phase. We do have time for everyone to heal up with Vulneraries, rather than a Fortify, so that's nice. Now Zane once again imitates Pala with his full movement like I was saying, and you can heal with Etzel here if you need to for some reason, but I didn't. The reinforcements aren't close enough to fight this turn, but it doesn't matter. Our clear time is gated by Marth running around anyway. The AI manipulation for this enemy phase is incredibly delicate, and requires Yumina, and for some reason Minerva, being positioned further away from the group. Whatever, FE12 works in mysterious ways. And remember when I said you could trade the rescue staff to Etzel earlier? This is where you would use it, and seize next turn if you wanted to. Right, so this was the trick. I needed both Dark Mages going after Fina. Without the positioning I was talking about, one of the Dark Mages is going to run towards the right, and you won't have a way to kill everything because he'll be out of range of your Swordmasters. We're going to start by doubling up with the Dragon Pikes here on this dragon. Julian continues on his merry way, and because the Dark Mages both went after Fina, our Swordmasters are enraged to attack them with the Lady Swords. This crit wasn't necessary, because that mage rolled a 7 defense, but 2-hit KOing them isn't guaranteed against stat variation now that the Leo Shard is gone. One of them surviving is okay, Beck can finish that off, but if both survive, you might just have to reset back to that safe tile. A Mend and a Dance get Pala back in action with the JP Elliewood. Fucking level ups! And Leiden has the honor of killing the last one for us, and finally getting B-rank swords. One variation of this actually had Beck trading off a Wormslayer from somebody and using that to finish off a dragon. And again, that made him really useful, because he has that C rank in swords. Unlike, say, what is it, Robert? That other horseman we got? Or like a horseman Daros or whatever. So I'm left with 1 use each on 2 Forged Wormslayers, which kind of sucks, but we press on. Marth gets a little boost here on his way to the throne, and it's time to get out of here. A rescue would have saved 3 turns at the cost of the less important treasure here, but rescue is just too valuable. I can't do that. I wasted enough rescues saving turns earlier in the game. I'm done doing that, and I wish I hadn't done it at all. So, yeah, the first half of this chapter was excellent. I loved it. It was great. The second half was absolutely horrible, and there's nothing you could do to make it interesting. It was just slow and stupid and poorly designed. But at least we get to stop fighting dragons for a while now. Once again, they try to get me to hide my afro, but I'm not going to do that. Thanks for watching.